All right, everybody, welcome to another Raleigh Young Professionals Member Spotlight. I'm super excited to be here with my new friend, Jasmin. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Chuck. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks. Welcome to my studio. You know, I'm a fine art curator, as you can tell in the background here.
It's beautiful, man. Nothing better than kids.
That's right, man. Priceless. Well, I'm glad you're here, and I wanted our Raleigh Young Professional members, over 5,000 strong now, to get to know a little bit about you and what you do. So, if you would, tell everybody who you are.
So my name is Jasmin Smajic. If you can't pronounce it, don't worry about it. I've been here in this area for the last 23 years, mostly in Cary, but a little bit of Fuqua and Raleigh. And I am a client engagement manager for a company called Aperian Global.
Okay, so what does that mean? Go deeper. And I already apologize. So Yasmin, I said your name incorrectly when we started. So I appreciate you telling me.
No worries. Um, I'm sorry. What does my name mean, or what does
So what's
the
the
company
company
mean?
mean? Well, hey, yeah, if you got a
Sure.
cool story about your name too, I'd love to hear that. But definitely the company as well.
So Aperian Global, we're a fairly small company, but we've been around for 30 years, and we work with about a third to about 40% of the global Fortune 100 companies, a lot of universities, some federal government, and the diversity, equity, and inclusion space, and also a overlapping area, which is cross-cultural competence or cultural agility.
Okay. So tell me more about, like, if we're on here and I want to help you, tell the members about what you do for work and what your company does. And I'm guaranteed there's some people on this, in this group that are watching right now that might be wondering, okay, I wonder if they're a good fit to work with us. Who
Mhm.
are you looking to connect with in this group? Or maybe who's a great referral for you if someone out there is watching and saying, I'd really like to talk to him a little bit more about this.
Sure. Well, to give you a little bit of a long answer, this is fortunately and unfortunately, this is a great time to be talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Unfortunately, that we have to be in this place, and that it is that we have to have such a strong focus on it. But the exciting thing is that there is a lot of momentum within this space. A lot of organizations in the state, across the country, but also even across the world, have a really renewed focus and interest in diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts. So making sure that their company is diverse, that there are people from all walks of life and all backgrounds, making sure that it is inclusive, that people feel welcome, that they can bring their whole self to work, and making sure that it's equitable. We work with smaller organizations. We work with universities, but we also work with a lot of large companies. Some of them here local to the area, so Lenovo, GlaxoSmithKline, and so forth. And we offer a full suite of resources and solutions to support diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, as well as efforts around cross-cultural competence. So anybody whose company has a excuse me interest, whether this was something from from last year, or years ago, or whether there's a renewed interest in diversity, equity, and inclusion, we'd love to connect. We're not a very sales focused organization. We're looking to predominantly partner with companies, and build a relationship. So we have the ability to support a full strategy rollout when it comes to diversity, equity, and inclusion. And so we can support executive coaching, labs, and so forth. But we can also support learning for managers and maybe associate level employees. So a complete rollout. We have two sides to our practice. So one side is more tools focused, and that's kind of predominantly where I live. So that's online assessments, either for the individual or for the entire organization. That's self-paced learning, and also a interactive tool called GlobeSmart, which is pretty cool. And the other side of our D&I practice is the strategic consultative piece, where we come in, we partner with an organization, maybe do an assessment of, where you currently are, what are some of the challenges that you're facing, where do you want to be, what are the goals that you want to set, and how are you going to get there, and then taking that plan and that strategy and executing it, coming back, assessing, how far have we moved the needle, since we started working together, and then keep working and do an assessment again, and so on and so forth. So we're here to talk to anybody who has a renewed interest in diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I like that you said a couple times, like, a partnership. I think that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
That you're looking to really partner with organizations, and I can tell just from the interactions we've had that you mean that. And when you're thinking about who the companies that you work with, and maybe what brought them to you, or what you've experienced in your time doing this, what do you think is, like, maybe one of the number one things that companies and organizations struggle with when it comes to diversity and inclusion right now, and what's your solution for that? Does that come back to that partnership piece, or is there something else in there?
Sure. So I would say, depending upon the size of the organization, let's say if you're working with a company that's global, but also a franchise part of the business, and they're, spread out across the world, or it might be, a company that's a little more local, not as international or not as big. One of the challenges is creating real change. What you don't want people to do is just to get online, click through a course, click, and move on and forget about it. You want to affect change. You want to have meaningful conversations. Sometimes they're a little uncomfortable. Not always. I mean, it can be the kind of what a customer needs can be adjusted and so forth. But conversations need to be from the heart. They need to be meaningful, and that's how we can affect change. The other thing I think that a lot of companies are looking to do, or might slightly struggle with, is how to make that change stick, how to make it sustainable. You can come in, you can have, a instructor-led course, and people can walk out energized with their, fists pumping in the air. But the question is, are they going to feel that way 6 months down the road, a year down the road? So we can help companies create a sustainable strategy to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
I love that. So partnerships, actually creating change, and making sure that that change sticks and stays. So those are great things and great answers. So someone
and we
go ahead.
And I was going to say, and we do have the ability, if somebody comes in and says, hey, we have a full, we kind of have a full suite of products. We have all the tools in our toolbox that we need. We just need this maybe one piece. Can you offer that? Sure. Yeah, we can offer that. I mean, we can be supportive, and have a partnership when it comes to that one particular tool or resource. But our goal typically is to truly have a deeper partnership with organizations.
What about the size of the organization that you work with right now? Is there an organization that's too big, or are there organizations that are too small? What's your ideal client right now?
No, there isn't really a size requirement. If excuse me, I mean, I think this, over the last 2 weeks, I talked to an organization that has over 400,000 employees, and I'm talking to an organization, I think it's, I have to check my schedule, maybe later today or tomorrow, that has less than 50 employees. So there really isn't a size requirement. I would say the only requirement is if you have a intention or a focus to have a to make diversity, equity, and inclusion a priority for your company or for your organization, we're more than happy to talk to you. So size of companies or industry is not, is not important.
Okay, great answer. So someone's watching this right now. They're very interested. They want to talk to you more about this. What's the best way for them to connect with you or to take those next steps?
Sure. Any way they like. I mean, they can text, call, email, LinkedIn. I'm open. I know some people prefer email. Some people prefer connecting on LinkedIn and seeing a picture to the face. Some people prefer a traditional phone call and hearing somebody's voice. I personally prefer phone call, but we can start off any way that's comfortable for them.
Okay, perfect. So how about this? We'll get this video posted and shared. We will tag you in it. People have questions. They can connect with you directly through there and let you guys figure out the best way to take the next steps for them. Does that sound like a good plan?
That sounds like a great plan. Chuck,
Perfect.
thank you very much, man. You're doing some great work, and I love the artwork.
Well, I wish I could say I did the artwork, but I've got way more talent in the house with the little ones. I appreciate those kind words. I really love doing this. So Raleigh Young Professionals, here's another member spotlight with Jasmin, and I'm so glad that you guys got a chance to check it out. Please connect with him, take those next steps, get some questions asked and answered, and we'll be back soon with another member spotlight. So sir, thank you one more time, and I look forward to connecting with you again here in the future.
Thank you, Chuck. Take care.